Chapter 840. Emma could not calm down at all, and she waved her hand before she said, "Forget it. I do not want to talk about this problem anymore. I am going back to my bedroom to calm myself down." After she was done speaking, Emma turned around and walked up the stairs. Alex could not help but sigh when he saw her walking up the stairs and disappearing at the top of the stairs. It seemed as though it would really be difficult to deal with Elaine. He could not kill her, and he could not make her disappear or evaporate from this world without a trace at all. When she has already suffered enough, he would still have to bring her back home. However, it would also be very troublesome to bring her back. How could he possibly make her shut up without talking any nonsense at all? Through hypnosis? That would not be reliable at all. After all, the side effect of hypnosis was that once the person started to follow his psychological cues, that person would lose their own consciousness momentarily. It was the same situation as when he hypnotized Katza and gave him the psychological cue that he would have to have an extra meal every other hour. Whenever he was eating his extra meal, Kian was simply following the psychological cue that Alex had given to him. At that time, he would lose his own consciousness momentarily, and all that he wanted to do was to eat shit so that he would feel better. However, after he was done with his extra meal, the psychological cue would pass by and Katza would regain his own consciousness. At that time, he was still the same old Katza that he was before. Therefore, it would be very difficult for Alex to use hypnosis on Elaine. If he were to give Elaine a psychological cue that she should not be talking nonsense, he had to make sure that this psychological cue was constantly in place. If he were to do that, Elaine would no longer be the same Elaine as she was before. She might even end up being a lunatic or a person who had no self-consciousness or her own will at all. Therefore, Alex had no other choice but to make sure that Elaine would willingly keep her mouth shut. It was really challenging and difficult to come up with a way to make sure that Elaine would not mention a single word about his bank card at all. After Emma left, only Alex and Mia, who had not spoken a single word at all, were left in the huge living room. Mia had been waiting for an opportunity to be alone with Alex. Since she finally got her opportunity to be alone with him, she hurriedly said, "Alex, don't be angry at Emma. Don't hold it against her. She did not intend to be angry at you on purpose. She must be feeling very anxious and worried because Auntie is missing." Alex nodded slightly before he said, "I know. I understand, and I will not be angry at her. No matter what it is, Emma is still my wife after all." Mia was filled with envy as soon as she heard Alex's words. She did not understand why Alex could be so passionate and sincere toward Emma when both of them were obviously in a fake marriage. Didn't he know that this was all just an act? She could not help but feel a little lost as she thought about it. If they were to compare their beauty, Mia did not lose much to Emma. In terms of wealth, Mia was a member of the Stewart family from Westcliff, and she was definitely in a much better financial situation compared to Emma. Moreover, she had already expressed her feelings to Alex a long time ago. She really loved him, and she sincerely hoped to get together with Alex one day. However, Mia could not understand why Alex would continue guarding and protecting a woman who did not love him at all. As she thought about this, Mia stared at Alex before she said, "Alex, you should understand my feelings for you very well. Don't you have any feelings for me at all?" As soon as Alex heard Mia's words, he couldn't help but feel frustrated and said, "Mia, you are Emma's best friend, and Emma is my wife. Therefore, I would naturally regard you as a good friend because of Emma. There are many other good men in this world. You should not be pinning all your hopes on a married man like me." Mia's eyes turned red, and she could not stop the tears from rolling down her cheek. She stubbornly wiped the tears off her face before she said, "But the both of you are not even truly a married couple. Both of you are simply putting on an act. You have already been acting in this fake marriage for more than 3 years now. This act will eventually come to an end. What are you going to do, then? Are you going to continue standing on stage and performing all alone? Alex smiled as he looked at Mia before he reached out his hand to wipe the tears off her face. After that, Alex replied firmly, "Trust me. Our marriage will never come to an end."